video and data, right? I mean, isn't it mostly up funnel now? Like, aren't we buying about brand and reach and frequency and storytelling?
Yes, we are, but I think when you sort of look back and you say we've got the power of data to improve it, to be more precise or be more efficient, or just better understand what the impact is of running video ads or using video to better tell stories through the creation of content or the sort of curation and co-creation of content. Wouldn't data make it all that more powerful, or at least help us learn a lot more? So I think, yeah, it's upstream, and we should certainly be looking at it as a mass vehicle, because it is in mass. You know, you have 150 million people watching video every month online, watching it every day online, on mobile. So we should use it as a reach vehicle, but to the extent that we could apply data to make it more powerful, we should absolutely be doing that as well. However, unlike display, it shouldn't be seen as an opportunity to buy it in tonnage and just cut it up for data and just cut up for retargeting. It could be much more powerful than that.
You mentioned in the conversation we were having after we just spoke with Eugene that you alluded to sort of buying video bundled, right, with TV, for example. So how much of the video that, if you would say right now as a percentage of spend, are you buying bundled versus unbundled?
I mean, buying is managing, I would say, because sometimes we're working with partner agencies who are bigger in the TV marketplaces. We're focused on digital, but when we go in together, I would imagine for a lot of big brand clients, upwards of half of what they're buying is bundled. Some of that has to do with the pricing models that came out of last year's television upfronts, where the pricing was normalized through what they call fluidity, which I think has helped. It's helped a lot of clients feel more comfortable putting their bets down in bigger ways on digital video, because they can compare and contrast it to similar metrics to television. But I think that's just a start. We still have a tremendous amount of activity that's done in the non-TV content world, that's done standalone or bought in different ways. I think at the end of the day, what is shown on NBC and Hulu and ABC just makes up a fraction of what people are consuming online that's video based.
Right. There was a great quote from Vivian Schiller of NBC News, digital news. In the beginning, she said she doesn't believe in being screen agnostic. She believes in being screen orthodox, which I thought was really great, right? Because something I'm a big believer in is that we, marketers really need to think about the screen, bespoke creative, optimization for the screen, right? Things like that. When you look at video across in a multi-platform construct, are your clients typically building or differentiating their assets or customizing them rather for different platforms?
They're starting to. When I came in, I was trying to take a look at everything we're doing in video, and we're doing a lot. We're doing it in a lot of different ways. So we're trying to create some consistency and rules of thumb around how to program for different screens, for different mindsets, whether it's network audience versus an at-home audience. Is it entertainment? Is it news? Is it original content? And you do have to think about making sure that your message is seen in the most relevant form as possible, not just repurposing something that you've cut for one screen, which is probably shot much differently for a 10-foot experience versus a 1-foot experience.
Right.
I think up till now, clients might not have seen what the potential return is on that, and budgets being what they are, they can't always cut 100 different versions, let alone 2 or 3 different versions of a piece of creative. But we're trying to find ways through technology to make it more palatable, to make sure that we're rendering things in a more responsive way, in a more appropriate way for each viewing environment. If we don't, I agree, it's a missed opportunity. But the same has to be said for the people that are producing the content that we're trying to insert ourselves in. If you're just repurposing things from screen to screen, that might work for some audiences, but probably not for all, and probably not for every situation.
When we talk about data and video, I mean, the nut to be cracked yet is a cookie and mobile, right? So I would just love to hear sort of your thoughts on what is important from a marketer as far as consideration goes when planning specific to mobile, and I include tablet in that, right? And then not having kind of a cookie there, a cookie like construct or proxy, and maybe just a user, a device ID or whatever. Like, what role does data play for mobile video, and how's that different?
Mobile's you've alluded to a lot of the challenges with mobile. It's a cookieless world for the most part. It doesn't mean it's a dataless world. It's a very data-rich world. I think we're still experimenting with finding privacy-compliant ways to push the envelope in mobile and make sure that we're taking better advantage of the signals that we have to target and reach people in the right environments with the right creative and marry that sort of message time and context. It's not as easy. It's not as real time. The standards don't necessarily exist in the same way that they do across the desktop web, and a lot of that is being defined or redefined right now. I would say for video in particular, it seems to be a totally unique set of circumstances when buying in mobile and measuring in mobile than it does on desktop or even connected TV.
What do you think about pre-roll and interstitial and post-roll? I mean,
in general,
do we just have, okay, we're using data, we're getting smarter about the delivery and the targeting and our driving performance of the media, but do we have a fundamental problem that we have an issue with the formats? Like, we need to have more innovation there?
I agree, we do need more innovation. The pre-roll was sort of the lazy answer to how to run video online. It was the lazy answer, it was the easy answer, right? People were watching content of a certain length, we could put an ad in front of it, great. It's uncluttered, it's clean. As content started to become longer form and there started to be more of it, there was more opportunities to insert those ads. But if we just stop there, we're probably not taking advantage of what the opportunity is. I think when done in the right environment, interstitials can be really powerful. I think we've experimented with them in mobile because it seems right as someone is going from one screen to the next in an app, or they're loading something up and there's an opportunity to not totally disrupt their experience, but capture their attention for a few seconds, maybe not 30, maybe it's 5 or 10, going back to the point about having to create things that are appropriate for each environment. So we're getting there, but I don't think there's any single answer. I think that pre-roll, mid-roll, post-roll, in-stream video could be rendered more powerful with the use of data, because if it turns out the audience I'm trying to reach is more willing to sit through an ad in the middle of the content that they're in because they're already priced in, they're already bought into that content,
right.
Maybe I only want to target them at that point versus ahead of it. But I don't know, because we're still experimenting, we're still trying to figure out what works, and the data, both from an ad serving standpoint and an audience tracking and impact standpoint, is still early innings for it.